Hi everyone, good afternoon. So let's do our intro, our names, the city we are joining from, and what we do currently in the chat box. For those who do not know why we are here today, we are here to talk about everything compliance. Right. Everything compliance, navigating the compliance industry, getting a job as a compliance professional, KYC, AML, GDPR, sanctions, financial crime, all those stuff. Yeah. So I'm going to give it a couple of minutes. So let's drop our names, the city we are joining from, and what we do currently. Right. Beautiful. The intros are coming in. Good, good, good. Right, so I've got Eunice Balogun joining from Barnsley. Nice to meet you and welcome to this session, Eunice. Kemi Oladipo, scientist, Birmingham. Welcome, Kemi. Welcome, Kemi, to this session. Looking for a career change. Beautiful. Right, let's keep it coming. So I've got Cherry Lawani from Derby, Revenue Protection Officer, Chioma Onuebu from London. Welcome to the session. Anthony from Manchester, Bankole Olulenu from Gilliam. Welcome. Rhoda from Leeds, Femi from London, Ngozi Lawal from Leeds, Kamal from Cambridge. I work in customer service. Welcome to the session. Femi works as an energy specialist. Welcome. Claudia from Birmingham. Welcome, welcome. For those just joining, we always use the first 10 minutes, to get acquainted, to get to know each other, to know our backgrounds. This would also inform the kind of examples we give in the session as we proceed, because we're now able to give examples that relate right to your background. So for those who are just joining, welcome to the session. We're introducing ourselves in the chat box. Today, we are demystifying everything around the compliance industry, getting a role in compliance, KYC, AML, and what you need, right, to get into it. So either you are a foreign trained lawyer, or a lawyer that is trained and qualified here but wants to get into compliance, or a banker, or someone that just has interest in compliance, feel free, you are in the right place. Right, so for those just joining, we still have 1 minute to introduce ourselves in the chat box. Let's introduce ourselves, our names, the city we are joining from, and what we do currently. So we'll take a couple of more intros and then we go right into what we have got planned for the day. So I've got Ade Dolapo from Southampton, Ayodeji from Birmingham. Okay, Kemi says, can this fit for people in sciences? Maybe not really. You can just wait and see what we have to say. We also have another session at 2 p.m. though. That's our data insights day. So we have a range of career paths that we support people in, but this particular session is dedicated for compliance, KYC, AML, financial crime, sanctions, GDPR, and the likes. So in addition to compliance, we support people to become data analysts as well, project manager, business analysts, scrum masters, product managers, product owners, digital marketers, and so on. So, Kemi, I don't know if you want to wait, just to hear what we have to say today. Right, a little bit about us. RKY Careers is a multi-award winning company. We are an edtech company. We empower people, professionals, to acquire in-demand skills that would help them stand out in the job markets. We also help people transition to tech. Our bootcamps are practical, experience focused, equipping you with the unique skill sets and experience you need to land the job or to stand out in the job market. We boast of over 1,500 success stories of people who have enrolled in our bootcamps and have landed their desired roles, right? So we understand the unique challenges of job seekers, and that's why we keep updating and optimizing our, curriculum, our methods of delivery, and our offers as well, to make sure that, they fit the exact needs. Like I said, we are multi-award winning. Here are a couple of awards we've won, from Top 25 Changing the Face of Education to Best Professional Services, Solution Company of the Year, Career Support Organization of the Year in 2024. In 2024 alone, we won over 8 awards. And then in 2025, we are up to a good start. We've won Career Support Organization of the Year award already in 2025. And we've been named finalist as well in the UK Tech Start as the UK Tech Startup, right, at the BTA Awards. Right. So that's just to show that, there's something we are getting right. We are making an impact. And yeah, we are just the best to be affiliated with when it comes to career, boot camps, trainings, and all of that. So, a little bit about myself, the person speaking to you today. My name is Rukayat Alabi. I'm also a multi-award winning entrepreneur and the CEO of RKY Careers. Right. And right, I've also won a lot of awards, as you can see, EdTech CEO of the Year, Innovative Entrepreneur of the Year, and I'm also a member of the Forbes Coaches Council. And yeah, basically, I'm the founder of both RKY Careers, Apply Body, RKY Digital Solutions, right? Limitless Without Borders annual events, as well as our recently launched podcast, Limitless and Thriving. My own goal and mission is to ensure that we from the underrepresented communities, we immigrants, we minority ethnic professionals, right, do not settle for less. My own personal purpose and goal is to make sure that people are aware of opportunities that abound, because I know that, some years back, some people move, into the UK, or some people just feel that there are some jobs that are only for some certain type of people, right? So my own role is to make sure I demystify that, by not only preparing people and also equipping them with skills that they can use to position themselves for high-paying jobs, really. And we've had quite a very good number of successes. We've had our students finish our boot camps, land 60K, 80K, 90K jobs, which, is usually a very proud achievement for me. So our training services, how do we help people? I keep saying we help people. 1,500 success stories. How do I really mean? Right. So we help people through our trainings and our services. We've got trainings, like I said, in data analysis and business intelligence, projects management and business analysis, advanced Microsoft Excel and PowerPoint, Scrum Master, product owner, product manager, digital marketing, product owner and product manager. Digital marketing, which comprises of SEO, PPC, your email marketing, and all of that. And then for the reason we're here today, which is compliance, KYC, AML. We also have standalone services in CV optimization, career advisory, interview prep, LinkedIn optimization, and professional portfolio. Right. So before we get right into, I was just muted. This is going to be a very interactive session, so be ready to flow with me, guys. So, guys, what does compliance mean to you in your own space? Because guess what? Compliance apply across a range of industries. So tell me, in your own industry, in your own personal, exposure or experience, what does compliance mean to you? In one word, what does compliance mean to you? So we're going to be using chat box. If you want to ask questions like this, I just want the responses going, in the chat box. That's going to keep us moving really fast. So what does compliance mean to you guys? What does compliance mean to you? I'm waiting for the responses. Integrity of research outputs, right? That's talking from a scientist perspective. I love that. I love the fact that we have diverse perspectives. Anytime we have sessions like this, we have people from different backgrounds, the legal, the banking, the scientists and the like. So I love that. Bamira says, Janet says, following rules and regulations of an organization. It can be more simply put, really. Rhoda says, adhering to policy. Ngozi says, adhering to rules. Titi says, working in accordance with relevant laws. Bayo says, following laid down rules. Roma says, following laid down laws. Ability to work in line with regulatory frameworks set objectives. You guys are the brightest, So compliance is basically, right, just like you've all said, operating within certain, rules, regulations, laws that have been set. But the thing is that these laws differ from industry to industry. And guess what? These laws are even in place in the first place to protect vulnerables, vulnerable people, to protect, the lower empowered people. When I say people, it could even be us. So when it comes to like banking now, your funds needs to be protected, right? Your funds need to be protected. Banks are not allowed to invest your funds in, maybe investments that might be maybe financing terrorism and all of that. In fact, the banking system is not even allowed to encourage and enable or facilitate anything that doesn't make the economy, the society, safe as a whole. Look at the health and care industry as well. There's need for compliance there as well. But like I said, I'm not going to be the only one doing the talking. I'm going to be asking you series of questions. Right. So what does compliance entail? It encompasses a wide range of rules, regulation, ethical standards that individuals, businesses, and organizations must adhere to. Right. In the finance side of things as well, you will have like financial regulations, data protection, anti-money laundering, GDPR. In fact, now, based on the new disruption, we now have regulations for AI. I was seeing a new standard 47001 ISO, that is actually supposed to be guiding the way AI, is implemented and used. Right. So why do companies need compliance professionals? Like I said earlier, all companies all organizations, industries, they need compliance because even if it's not highly regulated, it's still regulated to a certain extent, right? Because customers need to be protected, right? For instance, the vulnerable people that, are the clients in the health and care, they need to be protected, which is why we have the CQC, that's why we have the social workers and, all of those professionals, right? Right. So when you want to transition to the compliance industry, you need to have some things in place. Please confirm if you can hear me. Lash just said she can't hear me. Can you all hear me, please? Right. So, okay, thank you so much. So if you want to move into compliance, right, or you want to position yourself for compliance roles, then there's something you need to do, which is legal or industry knowledge. So if you want to move into compliance in the health and care side of things, then you need to have health and care related, knowledge. If it's project compliance you want to do as well, then you probably need to have the industry knowledge for the respective industry you want to move into, right? So a deep understanding of the relevant UK laws and regulations, including the industry specific ones, is very essential if you want to consider compliance related roles. Regulatory framework, familiarize yourself with the specific regulatory bodies, agencies relevant in your field. Right. Training and education. If you want to transition to compliance, then you need to be someone that loves to stay up to date, because guess what? Regulations change, change every day, minutes, depending on whatever the government or the regulatory bodies have now seen as a new risk. Then compliance and regulations need to change to mitigate those risks, right? So you need to educate yourself. You can't just say, oh, I have an idea, and with my idea, data protection and privacy across all industries. Data protection is very important. So GDPR, data protection is very important. Compliance, financial compliance. If you're also going into the compliance side of things, then you need to have very good knowledge of AML, CTF, and all that, right? So other skills that you might need to have in hand if you are going into compliance: analytical skills, very, very important. Problem solving. You need to think logically. Oh, okay. I thought that was for me. Right. So problem solving, we need to have problem solving skills regardless of the role you are going into right now. In this adaptable 2025 that we are, you need to have problem solving skills. You need to be that person that does not just see problem. If you want to escalate a problem to your manager, you need to already have identified a couple of solutions that you would also recommend. Don't just be that person that is always seeing problems and not even be able to think of, even if your recommendations won't be accepted or used, at least be that person that, as I'm telling you there's a problem, I'm telling you that I'm thinking we can also do this. Because it helps to show that you are someone that is problem solving oriented, right? Or solutions oriented. Communication, regardless of the role you want to get into and how technical you are in that role, you need to have very good communication skills, interpersonal relationship skills, people management skills, stakeholder management skills. They would always test these skills. They would always, and this is not just about what you say, it's also about the way you relate with people, At interviews, it's not just what you say they're looking at. They're looking at your body language as well. They're looking at how confident you are. They're looking at how you're able to communicate your ideas, your responses, and all of that. So communication skills is a must-have for everybody. There's nothing like introvert or it's good to be an introvert, but at the places where you need to speak up, you need to speak up, because even when you get the job, keeping the job as well, you need to like come out of yourself. You need to speak at meetings. You need to be able to communicate you've done, you've worked on a case. These are the feedback you have. You need to be able to communicate it. If they interview about 2-3 people and they all have technical skills, what they will use in differentiating who to give the job or who to give the promotion is, their people skills and the way they manage people, situations, and all of that, right? So ethical judgment and integrity. You need to ensure that your company operates within, the ethics, moral ethics of the organization as well as the industry. Confidentiality. If you want to work in compliance, you can't be that person that will work on a case and tomorrow you're gonna say, "Do you know what? I was the one that opened Babangida's account. I was the one that opened the prime minister's account." You have to actually, or I was the one that you have to actually know how to separate content you would use in public spaces. In fact, there are some roles you will get within the compliance space, cybersecurity and all of that you can't even add to your CV. That's how sensitive. You can't add them to your CV. I know a couple of people of our alumni and students that got jobs in some sensitive roles within the civil service or cybersecurity related roles, or security or compliance related roles, that they were not allowed to add the role or the project they are working on their CVs or on their LinkedIn's. So that's how sensitive. You need to understand how to, be confidential. Other skills that you might need in the compliance space, right? Risk assessment, continuous development, documentation, and keeping. Continuous development is very important. I already said that before, which is, your ability to continue to stay up to date, Risk assessment is very important as well, because even as part of your role, you need to be able to assess risk. You need to be able to know what is high risk, low risk, and all of that. Documentation and record keeping, very important. I mean, if you look at, for those that are very familiar with the banking space, KYC. When you do KYC for an individual and you see, you see the passport or something, right? They've seen your passport, they've seen your utility bill and all of that. If they see it, but it's not documented in your file, it doesn't count. It really doesn't count. It's what is documented that matters, that is important. So you need, and again, if you look at it, documentation is even going beyond just even workspace now. Even for you as a personal person, you need to have documentation, keeping records as part of your life. Because even in your performance, for instance, if you do not take notes or take record of your performance, it's very easy to forget what you added to the company in January, and then when it's time for your appraisal, maybe in December or something, it's very possible for you to have forgotten things you can use to justify your promotion or your performance and all of that. So we need to actually be very good at documenting and keeping records. GDPR, like I said, every business operating in the UK, everyone working or living in the UK or even in Europe, you need to have GDPR behind, because there are some things that like just GDPR, that like GDPR breaches that you don't even know. Right, data protection, financial sanctions, strategic thinking, KYCML, legal and industry knowledge. Right, anyone keen on sufficient interest, training certifications can switch to any career path of their choice. So even if you don't have all these skill sets, it's fine. You can learn it. So what are the potential career paths that you can position yourself within the compliance space? Not limited to this, but we've got KYC related roles, compliance related roles, risk management related roles. Excuse me, guys. Financial crime and sanctions officers, AML, data protection, and the like. And you can see the salary ranges. This is not to say that everybody will get, salaries of this range on their first role, but, being in a career path that that, there's a progression opportunity, because there are some roles that the highest you can be, if you're still under that role, is £20,000, £30,000. You don't want to position yourself in that kind of role, right? Because you want to position yourself that even if you get 35k job as for a start, that okay, my next role after this, right, is going to be positioning myself for a higher opportunity. So why pursue career in compliance field? So before we proceed, just to be sure you guys are following me, right, just to be sure you guys are following me, right, based on your industry, right, can you give me examples of compliance related job titles, right, based on your industry that you've seen or that you have in your industry? Let's see, compliance related job titles based on the explanation we've given about compliance right now. like job titles that you know that are related to compliance or GDPR or something. Right. Titi says AMLKYC analyst. Beautiful. Compliance analyst. Kamal, thank you. Legal compliance officer. Perfect. Like, yeah, exactly. So there are so many roles: compliance officer, compliance investigator. Thank you for that. Right, so let's keep it coming. Let's keep it coming. So, why should you consider a career, or why should you pursue a career in compliance? High demand for compliance professionals, right? The regulatory landscape is complex and is constantly evolving. Business and organizations are required to stay compliant. Guess what? The cost of being at the other side of compliance, meaning breaching or penalty fines and all of that, is way more expensive than the cost of employing, a compliance related professional for your business. If you look at, if you follow the news and you look at maybe financial institutions like banks, when you hear their fines that they fine them for not being compliant or for not doing KYC or whatever, the cost of the fines are always a lot. The cost of remediation to remedy the issue and make sure everything is now back in place is always a lot. What most companies would, rather than wait to breach before they take action, they always are proactive to employ compliance professionals, KYC professionals, and all of that, right, for their companies. So that's why there's a high demand for compliance professional. Career stability. Compliance is an essential function across industries: payments companies, fintech companies, banks, health and care, all the industries basically. So the compliance field also has diverse career opportunities. Not everybody finishes our boot camps and gets KYC analyst. Sometimes you see auditors, principal auditors. Sometimes you see legal operations analysts. Sometimes you see financial crime analysts. Sometimes you see accounts officers, investigators, AML analysts, onboarding analysts, and so on and so forth. Right. So global relevance as well. Skills and knowledge gained in compliance can be applied across the borders. Right. So across the borders, the only thing you just need to do is to update yourself in terms of, okay, these are the regulatory bodies here, but most of them always mirror each other, right? They always mirror each other. So competitive compensation as well, I already showed you that. Professional growth and global regulatory trade. So before I talk about the RKY compliance bootcamp, right, I would just want to know, you guys are following me, who are the for your respective industry, right? Can you name who your regulatory bodies are? Who is your regulator for your current industry? So you tell me your regulator and I will tell you what industry you work in. Let's play that little game and fantastic. I see FCA. FCA, that would be like, financial institutions here in the UK. I see CBN, that would be Central Bank of Nigeria, right? That's Nigerian banks. Beautiful. So I see SEC, that's Securities Commission, of course. So that's CQC, that's Health and Care here in the UK. I see FCA, FC and TPR. Titi, what does TPR mean? CQC, CBN, thank you, CQC. I think the last time I was seeing some names like the food industry, people mentioning some bodies. You guys should drop ones I don't know, please. You guys should challenge me. Drop industries I don't know. So Titi was TPR. And then I see EFCC. Beautiful. Guys, you don't need to be working in bank already. Your industry that you work right now, you have regulators though. Tell us who your regulators are. So Titi says, oh, the pensions regulator. Beautiful. And then Kamal says NFIU. That's the National Financial Investigation Unit. Or fraud. Is it fraud or financial? NFIU. Right. Okay, beautiful. Good to know you guys are following. So tell me, guys, what career paths in compliance are you looking to pursue? Tell me what's your next job, what you want your next job title to be. What do you want your next job title to be? Guys, let's respond very quickly. We've got like over 70 people on this call, so let's keep the responses coming as well. FDA. Adedolapa, what's FDA? Right. So Beautiful. Inoma wants to be a compliance officer. Beautiful. Rhoda wants to be a compliance analyst. Amarachi wants to be... Okay, I thought Omo was part of the job title. So she says, Olushe Yijagudino, please mute yourself. Thank you. Right. So Amarachi says Omo, legal compliance officer. Oh, I thought that was part of the title, Amarachi. Chima says AML KYC analyst. Kamal says financial crime investigator. Titi says KYC analyst with JP Morgan. I love that. Very specific. Guess what? We have alumni in JP Morgan. I was still even talking to one of them yesterday. She's actually in the fraud and compliance space. And then we have some data analysts there as well. Right. So yeah, it is very, 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 very achievable. I think we even have 2 data analysts in JP Morgan. So yeah, it is very possible and feasible for that to happen. Right. So I did another point. Oh, FDA means Food and Drug Administration. Beautiful. Jocelyn says risk governance and compliance officer. Chinazam says CDD officer and internal auditor. I have not read up to 70 responses. What's going on, guys? I've never read up to 20. What do you want your next job title to be? You know, maybe it's from my mouth to God's ears. You don't know. So let's give the responses. Right, let's keep the responses coming. Let's keep it coming. Right. Legal compliance analyst. Beautiful. Bayo says compliance manager. Terry says data protection analyst, KYC analyst, data analyst, credit analyst, financial. You know what I love about all of these titles? They are very achievable and they are very possible. So let's get right into introducing you to how you can make this happen, which is talking to you about the RQI Careers Compliance Bootcamp. So our bootcamp provides you with, the training as well as the experience, the practical experience you need to position yourselves in the compliance space. Week after week I keep getting new success stories from this bootcamp, just like with the rest, and I'm always excited when I see senior risk and compliance officer, principal auditor band 7 with the NHS, KYC analyst with sponsorship, compliance analyst with sponsorship. I'm always very, very, very excited and happy, and it's always fulfilling, really. So what is the compliance bootcamp all about? So it's a 5 weeks training where you get the virtual classes. All our classes are live. It's not pre-recorded though. We won't collect your money and then we'll send you some things to just go and watch, right? All our classes are live and also recorded. So if in case you can't attend any class, there's the opportunity to also catch up on the recording as well. Then the real life scenarios, you have to work on cases, and you'll be prepared for interview. That's what's always most important, right? How you prepare for the interview.
We cannot hear you.
I don't think I'm muted.
You are muted. We cannot hear you. We cannot hear what you're saying.
Can you guys hear me? Thanks for Lauren Shaw, but can you guys hear me? Can anybody hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Yes, you've been audible.
We can hear you.
Okay, for Lauren Shaw, you might want to check your network. Maybe you leave and come back again, So talking about the bootcamp, it's 5 weeks, only Saturday, 4 to 6 p.m., You get to work on practical case studies like you will in real life situation. There's nothing like them asking you, how many cases can you work in? Because so many people train, right? But explaining to people and letting people know how to present their experience is always a gap that a lot of people can't fill. I was in the compliance, I don't know which of the interview prep sessions I was in, when one of our students said, she applied for a job that, she didn't even read the job description. She just felt that she should be able to handle it. And by the time she was done with all of the interview, of course, she was more of an analyst, right? But she said by the time she applied everything we taught her in the interview, they said they were so happy with her. They told her they were not going to offer her the job, but they were going to send her another job that they would offer. They would create a role for her that fits exactly what she's bringing to the table. So like I always tell people, in this market as we are right now, it's about what more are you bringing to the table. So we have the CV and LinkedIn optimization, which we will do for you as part of the package, and then there are projects to work on, to gain practical experience. So who can take this course? Early career beginners, foreign trained lawyers and bankers, even dual qualified lawyers, but I even have people that are practicing. They have their own law firms here in the UK. But when the going gets tough, because business is not easy, they reach out and what, I want to also apply for some contract roles in and one thing I love about compliance KYC space is that you get the permanent, and you can also do fixed term contracts. Those contract roles that will pay you £1,000 per day, £500 per day, right? They are very possible here, and anyone as well seeking a career in compliance and KYC, accountants, CEOs, corporate executive, risk managers as well. These are the competencies you will gain in the bootcamp. You get comprehensive regulatory knowledge. Oh, Kemi said she was in that session too. Thanks for confirming that. So that you can know that, what things we say here, we're not making it up. Those are things that inspire me. They just come up naturally when I'm speaking because those are my, real life experiences. So KYC, AML as well, data protection, privacy and expertise, GDPR, financial sanctions, risk assessments and mitigation. Adewale also said it was a decision. I guess I have some of the alumni members here. So what are some roles you can apply to at the end of the bootcamp? AML analyst, compliance analyst, risk analyst, KYC analyst, compliance officer, data protection. But guess what? It's not even limited to this. One thing I always tell people is that acquire new skills. Never stop acquiring new skills. However, what will make you different in the very competitive job market is how you are able to combine your previous skills that you are bringing from back home or wherever, plus your newly acquired skills. Because guess what? The market has gotten so saturated. I'm sure you guys are used to hearing that, but people are still getting jobs. But the way they're able to get jobs is by coming up with combinations that, they never thought existed, by bringing extra to the table. And that's why at RKY Careers, we're always committed to giving our students that extra. If we're not doing short courses, bonus courses, we are preparing them for interviews on a weekly basis, even after the boot camps has ended. I was talking to someone that wanted to partner with us yesterday, and the person was like, right, the person was like, how do you, prepare people for interviews? And I was like, no, okay, I think the person said, can people that finished your bootcamp 2 years ago still get benefits, or can they still get support? And I was like, yes, they can. Through our weekly interview preps sessions, even if you're already in a job, you can still jump in. Come and tell us the challenges you're facing. It's like a 2 hours. We're here with you. Just come. Whoever it is, either you are 2 years ago, last year, or you are just even still in class. Come and tell us what you've been going through. If you have a task you are struggling with at work, bring it as well. Right? Or if you have an interview coming up, bring it as well. So that's the thing you don't get anywhere else. Because I'm sure that you guys, for you to be here, it means that it's not only RKY Careers you're following. You're also following about a million others that do what RKY Careers does. But I'm sure you want to know, how do we differ from them? The support you get from us here, you don't get it anywhere else. And I'm happy that I have some of the alumni members who also happen to join. Adewale also says it confirms, what I've just said. Right, so eligibility for visa sponsorship, for those that are interested to know, some codes that are related to the compliance space that you can also position yourself for. Feel free to take a screenshot, right? And so here are a couple of success stories that we've had in the compliance bootcamp, from conflicts analyst to data auditor, tax compliance to compliance analyst, KYC analyst, and much more. If you want to see more of our success stories, if you are not following us on Instagram, you need to do that, because week on week, day on day, we drop new success stories for you. Right. So yes, yeah, a couple of job titles as well that some of our students have gone ahead to get, from KYC, QC, quality control analyst to data protection officer, risk and compliance officer, transaction monitoring investigator, and the likes. So at this point, I'm sure you guys are tired of hearing my voice, but if you are not tired of hearing my voice, that's also fine. That's good to know. But I'm gonna bring on a guest, Ken Charles, right, who is one of our he just graduated. He arrived in the UK in November 2024. He attended and completed the RKY Compliance 11.0, and he has now landed a job with an insurance company. Right. So, Ken, if you are there, I know that you are currently on break from work because he had to take a break to be able to attend the session. So, let's not keep him waiting. Ken, if you are there, please unmute yourself. We'd like to hear about your experience. So, while we are waiting for Ken, Emerile says, do you assist with professional compliance exams? Okay, we'll take that question after Ken. Ken is here now. Ken, please. Congratulations, by the way, on the new job offer. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
So please tell us about your experience very briefly.
Yeah, good afternoon all. Well, I did, as seen on the bio, I did the compliance bootcamp. I heard about it from someone else, a former colleague when I was back in Nigeria. He had done this the KYC bootcamp, the compliance bootcamp, earlier on. So he told me about it, and so I just tried it out and in May, and went through the process. And I didn't start looking because I was still in Nigeria. I didn't start looking for work until about August. Yeah, and I started the job process with Indeed and LinkedIn and the likes. And yeah, it was challenging at the beginning. It was really difficult. So I just felt it was because I was in Nigeria, and that's why probably I wasn't getting calls. And so I just left it at that. And after a while, I started getting interviews while I was still in Nigeria via Teams. But most of them didn't work out because they wanted me to come in for physical interviews. And once I tell them I'm handling a project abroad, they will tell me that unfortunately like we should all get used to seeing those unfortunately emails. It's part of the process. So I came in November and took the applications more seriously because I was now in the UK, and I was in middle of November. By early December, I got an interview, just a random email that said, "Oh, we saw your CV in the job board, and would you want to come out for an interview?" So I had an interview over the phone, and then the next day they called me for a physical interview. So I booked the day I was free, went to the office, had a physical interview, and just like that, as I was leaving the office, I was still in that town. They just called me that I'd gotten past the interview, and they would send me information. And it was just like that. Things just happened quickly. Asked for the DBS, and they did everything for me. And I started on the 6th of January. And so in about a month and a half, I started the job, and it has to do with compliance with respect to claims handling, and checking to be sure that things are done properly. And so it's more of a compliance role than a KYC. It's not a KYC or AML role, but it's a compliance role, compliance function. So yeah, it's interesting, and yeah, and so that's what. So it's a stepping stone. I wouldn't have been able to get this if I didn't do the bootcamp. Doing the bootcamp, going through the projects, and getting the work experience and the reference from RKY. I mean, even when it was time for the reference, RKY sent the reference quickly, even before the company had even asked. They just sent it, So it helps once you have that UK experience, which you will gain by doing the projects and going through the bootcamp. It actually helps a lot to make it easier for you to get into this space. Work in the jurisdiction, especially if you're coming from Nigeria. So for those in Nigeria that are still in Nigeria that maybe have a timeline to move over, I think the best way to do it is to do this bootcamp, get the work experience, get your CV optimized, LinkedIn optimized, and you use there's a list of job boards that will be sent. Apply as much as possible. Tailor your CV as much as according to the job, and when they have those cover letters, you also have to tailor with respect to the job description. Tailor your cover letter to respect to that, and try as much as possible to tailor your Nigerian experience as well with respect to what they're asking for. And even if you get something, you keep applying. You keep applying. So yeah, that's how it works. And you will
Thank
get,
you.
like, I've had some offers as well as I'm still working here. I've not been in the UK for up to, but it's about 3 months, and I have some other offers where I'm still working where I am. So it's now left for me to decide whether I will take it or not based on
Wow.
what they're offering. So that's it.
Wow.
Good luck, and don't allow the too many emails of unfortunately to put you down. It's part of the
Right.
process.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Thank you
part of the
so much,
process.
Ken. So, how would you rate the level of support you got? I know you mentioned it very briefly. How would you rate the level of support you got? Right.
No, no, no. It was really good, and the fortnightly compliance classes help a lot. They help to reinforce the process, reinforce knowledge, and motivate individuals, and motivated me a lot. Lumi has been wonderful and motivating, and keeps sending information on new things happening. So, and in addition to that, there are other things you can also upskill, because you see a lot of jobs that have things to do with project management, business analysis, data analysis. So there are other boot camps that you can also upskill to as well. So
Exactly.
you don't just, while you're doing compliance, you can be a compliance, or you can do a project, what they call it, project based role.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't just So you're not just looking for jobs in financial services. You could be in other
Mm-hmm.
places as well. So you have a mix of experiences in different boot camps, and that helps as well.
All right. Thank you so much, Ken, for taking our time to share your experience, and congratulations once again. Good to know you
You're
also have
welcome.
other offers. That's always it is always the best position to be, right? It's always in the best position to be, to have more than one offer, then get to be the one to reject or choose the one you want to go with based on what works for you the most. So thank you so much. And just like you said, we have a lot of people that come in, they do compliance. When they get their first compliance role, they might be like, okay, you know what? I want to go the data way. They come back for data analysis, and they're able to position themselves for like some sanctions or financial crime related roles, depending really. Just like I said, just keep upskilling yourself, because yes, you might have an offer today, but at the end of the day, is about you. At any point you want to leave that job you are currently in, are you living better than you came? Are you living with more skills? Right. So thank you so much, Ken. Adewale says, what's the remuneration like? Does it worth it? Well, to be honest, he might not be able to communicate his or mention his remuneration here, and not everybody will get the same salary range as their first role. But just like I
No,
said, okay.
no, I
Yeah,
need to
but
even
feel
say
free.
that with respect to that. I think you need to, if you're coming from Nigeria, I think you need to start from somewhere. The remuneration as someone that is starting, because first of all, you're black, and secondly, whatever experience Akiwa is giving you is probably going to be about a year, right? So, and most of your experience is in Nigeria, so you probably won't be placed well. But once you get that first one, that first job,
Mm,
then
exactly.
you're stable kind of. You start looking
Mm,
for jobs that pay higher than the current job you have. So imagine you get a job that is paying, let's say, 20 something. You start looking for jobs that are paying 30 something. You get a job that's paying 30 something. You start looking for a job that's paying 40 something. Or you look for two jobs that are paying 20 something, or two jobs paying 30 something. That's the way it works, you know?
right.
So,
Thanks for that. Another person says, for the benefit of others who are in Nigeria, what type of visa did you come in with to be able to attend the physical interviews in the UK?
yeah, well, I have family member here. So I'm on a dependent visa. So it was just, it's easier if you're on a dependent visa, you know? And so yeah, well, how I got here. Right. But those who are some, I know people who are students who have gotten jobs. those who had post study who got jobs. So I mean, you can even get sponsorship. I know people who have gotten sponsorship from Nigeria, who worked in banks in Nigeria and did boot camps and got jobs in Nigeria with sponsorship. And you might not even get a job with sponsorship. You can use the I think what I regret, my biggest regret with the boot camp is that after doing the boot camp, one, I didn't do the boot camp early enough because I heard about the boot camp in 2022, and I didn't get around to do it until 2024. So if I had done it in 2022, I'd have started getting remote jobs from Nigeria as far back as probably 2022, and would have worked that. And you might not even need to go to the UK. So imagine you did a boot camp, let's say, let me not use compliance, let's say project management or business analysis or data analysis, and you were getting jobs in Nigeria paid in pounds. You will never need to come to the UK.
Right.
You'll be a big boy in Nigeria paid in pounds. Imagine you're being paid £2,000, £1,000 a month,
Right.
and you're in Nigeria. That's 2 million. You don't need to come to the UK again now. So you look at it. So let's not just look at it as we want to just come to the UK. The opportunities where you can there's a lot of remote work, especially if you could check on Flex Jobs. There are a lot of remote work that you can do with some boot camps you do. So there are different pathways basically.
Thanks for that different perspective, because I love the fact that your own angle, because we've had different people with different backgrounds share their story, and like I said, everybody's journey is unique. Somebody that is coming, and that's just to answer your question, Adewale, as well. So we've had some people join the compliance bootcamp. They are lawyers from back home. The kind of roles they'll be applying to, by the time they add compliance to legal background, will be different from someone that maybe doesn't have any experience or was customer service, right? And then so that's why I said that you are different. Your combination of skills is what determine the level you also start from. I don't know if that makes any sense, and the kind of job titles you will go for, right? We have some of our students in the legal compliance space, right, where because of their legal background plus the compliance experience, they're able to apply straight for senior roles. And that's not to say anybody can apply for senior roles. It also depends on the job, like the ones that you get first. And that's what we always tell our students. Even when you get your first job, never give up. Take it, keep working on it, but never, even if they sponsor you, that's one thing you should take away from you. Even if you get a job that is sponsoring you today, never stop adding value to yourself. Never stop coming back to do something else. And just like I said, he has some people that came back to do projects management, data analysis, just to make sure that you are building on yourself, you're adding more experience to it as well, right? So also talking about the not starting early enough, that is very important. Most of the people that join our bootcamps, their major regret is always not starting when they first heard about RQI careers, taking so long before they eventually jumped on it. Also, salary depends on the roles you get. You know what? You can get 2 offers. Do you know that as one individual, you can get a junior project manager job today and also get a senior project manager job today. One will be paying you 20K. Another one will be paying you 70K. Your job titles don't define you. Your current situation does not define you. It's you not giving up and always aiming for more that will define you. I remember back then as well, when I first tried to get a job here, when I moved to the UK quite a while ago, my first role was like an interim role, paying me how much. Even that first job, guess what? Because it was my first job, it was like heaven on earth for me. But guess what? While within the first month of that job, I got a job that was triple the salary of the current role. So if I had stayed back in that my first role and defined myself that, I'm just a junior interim something, I wouldn't have been able to go for the senior finance analyst role that I was now later in. I don't know if you get. So one person can be the one they are calling junior in one place, and the same person, other places that value his combination of skills, will be able to offer him something higher. So yeah, that's to answer salary related questions. Let's see if you can still answer a couple of questions. Okay, so are there opportunities for Nigerians living in Nigeria? Yes, this compliance profession course particularly, we've had some of our students get remote role with LEMFI, with payment companies there that want you to bring UK compliance knowledge to the table. So even if you are physically in Nigeria or Africa or wherever you are, you just need to know where your skills are needed and apply to them. They don't really mind the amount they will pay you. If they pay you £2,000 per month, that £2,000 per month for you that is in Nigeria might be a lot of money, but £2,000 per month for someone here in the UK might not even be enough for them to, right? Okay, so
That's
what was
correct.
your background in terms of education and work before coming to the UK? I think Ken, if you're happy to answer that question.
Yeah. I mean, I have a first degree in civil engineering. I have a second degree in
Imagine
information
civil engineering.
technology,
Beautiful.
and but I have all my working life in Nigeria was in financial services,
Right.
and yeah, so that was the reason why I decided to go for the compliance bootcamp.
Exactly.
Because even though I have an engineering background, majority of my working life has been bank, has been regulation, has been
Right.
consultancy. So we're all in financial services. So that's why I did the compliance bootcamp.
Right. So final question for you, Ken. Are there opportunities for Nigerians living in Nigeria?
Well, yeah, I already said something about that. I mean, remote work. You do your boot camp and position yourself for remote work. I have friends who do remote work in Nigeria and are being paid in pounds, dollars, and euro. So they've done different boot camps. Some did RKY, others have done other boot camps. So other providers, service providers. But the whole idea is it's possible, but it's usually easier if you're doing something that is data analytics based, project management based, or business analysis based. Which RKY they do those boot camps. It's easier to get remote work like that. You can also get in customer services as well, and there's a lot remote wise. I mean, there are a lot. There are job boards that are just designed for remote
Specifically
work.
for
So
for remote work, yeah. Right. Thank you so much, Ken. Really appreciate your presence here today and sharing your story. Guys, let's appreciate Ken. Thanks for your time. We don't want to keep you from going back to work. I know you still have, you know, work to do today. I really appreciate you making out the time. Thank you so much. And yeah, basically. So guys, there you have it. Don't see any limits, right? Don't see any limits. There's nothing limiting you. Even if you get your first job that is paying you, if you get what, the one thing people don't even know is that getting your first customer service role is very, very key. Like we have a lot of people that first customer service role, either in the industry they are related in, is always a very great stepping stone, especially for you that are even in compliance. Because guess what? Most, especially in financial institution, if you're a customer service or client onboarding, that's what they call the titles. Could be client onboarding, clients onboarding administrator, right? It's always a great way to get, So please, one day of the week at the time. So the class happens 4 to 6 p.m. on Saturday for 5 weeks, just for this compliance, right? How relatable is compliance to the construction industry in the UK? Right. So not this compliance bootcamp. If you want to go into the construction industry, you need to go and do your NEBOSH, IOSH, and all those shish kind of courses, right? Health and safety and all of that, right? So this particular one is, pretty much focused on financial institutions, legal, law, legal industry, GDPR, financial crime, sanctions, and all of that. Right. So how do you defend broad experience if you're in Nigeria? I don't know what broad experience mean, But the thing is that regardless of your experience, as part of the bootcamp, we will do your CV for you. You don't need to worry yourself about that. Worry yourself about, optimizing your CV for the job titles that you want to go for next. How do you defend a broad experience? Of course, you can work abroad from Nigeria now. Don't we? RQA Careers has like over 20 something staff. All of them are in Nigeria, or most of them are in Nigeria, right? So you can work remotely for companies, right? Even if you are based in Nigeria. So let's continue, guys. So what are the other training perks, that you get? Life expert led training, acquire skills and techniques, expert CV and LinkedIn optimization, competency tests, interview prep, end-to-end IT projects, bootcamp support, building real-life projects, access to LMS, UK job reference, globally recognized certificate of completion. I don't know if you have any other alumni here that would like to share their experience, maybe not necessarily limited to compliance, because I think I have some people here as well from other bootcamp. If you are here and you are able to speak, you can raise your hand and I can give you an opportunity to also share your experience, because like I said, people's experiences are always different and unique, right? And it's always good to hear about multiple people's experience. So position yourself for visa sponsorship, 6-figure jobs and all of that, and access to post bootcamp and alumni community. Right. So talking about the cost of the bootcamp, originally it's £750, and just for this weekend ending tomorrow, we are running a Valentine promo that brings it down to £450, but it's ending tomorrow and it's very strictly Valentine. So the discount code you need to apply on our checkout page is RSVP, and you can either buy this for yourself because self-love is very important, or you can gift it to a loved one. Right. What time tomorrow? What's that? What's happening tomorrow? Right. So the classes for this particular cohort starts on, what time tomorrow does it end? I'm sure it will be 12 p.m. I think 12 p.m. Right. So £450 is the discounted rate. You won't get it anywhere at this price because guess what? You get training by dual qualified solicitor. You get certificates, CPD certificates, right? That is also recognized in the US, in the UK. You get CV and LinkedIn. Some places, if you want to do ordinary CV, it's 400 and something pounds. CV and LinkedIn optimization, LinkedIn, UK reference, post bootcamp on ending supports, right? I'm sure there are so many places where even mentorship, internship, all of these have been monetized, where it's standalone service and you pay for £50 just to get access to that. But at RKY Careers, once you've enrolled for the bootcamp, you don't need to go anywhere else to make any financial commitments as when it relates to finances. The best part is that you can pay in installments using Klarna, ClearPay, PayPal, Pay Later, and the likes. So feel free. The links have been dropped. Secure your slots now at this discounted rate. If you are not able to secure your slot this weekend, right, you would have to secure it at £599 because you have to secure it at £599 from next week, Monday. Right, so it's a flash discount. If you're also in Nigeria and you want to know what the discounted rate, because we have a special discounted rate for those in Nigeria, chat with the numbers that have been dropped in the chat box, and they will tell you what the discounted amount is. To pay, do you have to pay interest on the installments? I don't think so. That's why we have about 4 alternatives. Just check the one that suits you best. I know PayPal in 3 is 0 installments. I know Klarna, I think it depends. For the 3 installments, 4 installments, I don't think it comes with interest, but we pay later. If you want to do like 12 months, you might need to pay interest. So if you are based in Nigeria or Africa, we have a special discount for you. Can we drop the numbers to call? Can we drop the WhatsApp numbers to call? Adiola and Toby. The Naira amount will be communicated to you if you click on the link and chat the WhatsApp numbers. Right. I think we have some questions. Please secure your slots. We are waiting for you to secure your slots, and then you can reach out to the numbers. Right. What's the discount code? The discount code is RSVP. Right. Do we have to pay interest? Okay. How much in Naira? Like I said, links will be dropped now that you can click on to chat with our consultants on WhatsApp. Do you help with Global Talents Visa? So it depends on the category and how much evidence you already have. For those that paid $5.99 earlier, can you consider a rebate? It's a gift. You're meant to gift somebody. So the lines to chat with have been dropped, and the coupon code has been dropped as well. So guys, secure your slots. Even if it's not compliance, we have project management, we have data analysis. They are all starting. I think compliance starts March 1st, right? But the rest of our courses are starting March 8th. Okay, Esther said she has paid and sent her details, but yet to hear feedback. If you paid on Friday evening and you haven't heard the feedback, it's because probably we've closed for the day. You will get a feedback latest Monday. Right, so let's get on. We are not done. So also we have a special offer, which is our Excel and PowerPoint training that is down to £50. You can combine this with any of our courses. It's just £50, right? And it starts on the 1st of March. Okay, I think compliance starts on the 22nd then of February. So please secure your slots. Everybody should be able to use Excel and PowerPoint. If you are in the job market, depending on your role, right, and you can't use Excel and PowerPoint, then you are doing yourself a disfavor. So either for £50 or 50,000 naira, you can secure your slots to learn Excel. Excel classes hold Saturday and Sunday for 6 weeks, and PowerPoints. Because when you start getting that interview and they say you should make presentation, if you can't make presentation, you're on your own. If they say work on little data sets and they give you customer data set to analyze, and you can't do simple Excel analysis, it's not, you'll be losing 60K offer because of £50 investments. That isn't a good place, to be. So secure your slots for Excel as well. It's just £50 or 50,000 naira. It's for 6 weeks, Saturday and Sunday 2 to 4 p.m. While compliance is Saturdays only 4 to 6 p.m. for 5 weeks. Right, so you can secure your slots now. That's another trick, right? You can secure your slots now at this discounted amount and defer to another cohort. But I'm not encouraging that, but yeah, you can leverage that. So at this point, I'm going to introduce you to our facilitator, who is a dual qualified compliance professional with multiple accolades and all of that, right? So Lumi, if you are here, we'll just hear from you for a couple of minutes before we proceed. So the compliance bootcamp, they said I should, okay. 1 second, let me give you when does compliance start? So compliance starts on the 1st of March. Sorry about the mix-up. It starts on the 1st of March. Right. So Lumi, is Lumi with us? Lumi is right. So while we are waiting for Lumi, I'll just continue chatting with you guys. So these are companies where our students have landed jobs in, from HSBC to JP Morgan, right, to Halifax, to Lloyds, to NatWest, to Santander, to even law firms that are not mentioned there, to NHS, right. Those are companies our students have landed jobs after the boot camp, right. Also, for those of you who do not know, RKY Careers have an annual event, right? We have an annual event where we bring together professionals. We bring together professionals and companies, recruiters, HR professionals, right, as well as businesses to come find talents for us to network physically. So it happens once a year and it happens in London. So if you are if you haven't networked before, so it would be a great one for us all to meet, even if you're not a student, if you're not an alumni, right, join the wait list to attend Limitless Without Borders. It's a place where you come to and then we open your eyes and mind and everything to opportunities that abound, right? As you can see, we started in 2023. This picture right here is from 2023, while this one's here at 2024. We bring different experts in to talk about different things, from immigration to global talents to how to position yourself for job opportunities. We even bring recruiters there who are also looking to fill roles. So you don't want to lose, your opportunity to meet with industry professionals and recruiters face to face and network with them, because most people don't know that those connections you make face to face, those you might even get referrals and all of that from them. Also, recently we launched our podcast. For those of you who haven't watched our latest podcast, subscribe and watch our podcast. In this podcast as well, the goal is to expose us, bring successful immigrants who are doing really well in their different career paths and businesses, to inspire us and show us the way, to actually live beyond menial jobs and all of that in this country. Can we drop the links as well in the chat box?
Sorry.
Okay, is Lumi here now? Looks like Lumi is struggling with his network. Oh, okay, he's trying to talk, but we can't hear him.
Yeah. So,
Oh, okay.
so
So
apologies, guys. So sorry about that. My computer just had some issues. It's great to be here, and I've listened to most of what the CEO has said, and she's very correct. RKY is a bit different from all the other ones, and what we do at RKY here is we just upgrade you from where you are. So you don't even need to have any experience to jump into the RKY program. And the way the program is designed is that even if you don't have any experience at all, you will we'll carry you along and we'll share the source of all the information. So like now, we are not just doing RKY for the sake of RKY. It's a regulatory requirement. So it's not something that we have an option. There's a zero tolerance to non-compliance. So we have to comply. So at RKY, we'll show you what is GMLSG. You need to know what is GMLSG, which is the manual for financial crime and KYC in the UK. I know in Nigeria, we have different laws and all that. Lawyers and bankers and most of the other non-financial sector are also supposed to comply as well. So maybe in Nigeria, you should have done it. And it's something that will bring out on your CV if you should have done it anyway, because you would have known it as well. So just to let you know what KYC is. KYC is very, very easy. We all have bank accounts. So that means one way or the other, KYC has been performed on you. So all you are doing is you are just reversing what they've done on you and you're becoming an expert in it. And what RKY is going to do is very, very simple. We're just going to rebrand you, okay, along the lines of competency so that you'll be able to work a KYC case, you'll be able to investigate cases. You know, it's not like when you get to work, you'll be looking at the roof and wondering what's going on. No, it's going to be a different ball game. So you know what to do on the first day. Like now, do you know how to use the company's account? Do you know how to check the corporate registry in Malta? Do you know how to use the company's account in the UK, which is the register for all the companies in the UK? You need to understand, how do you get your list of directors? How do you get your list of shareholders? Okay, you need to understand the different KYC requirements, and that's what it is. I remember when I started, I didn't know all these things, even though I still got a job, but it wasn't as competitive as it is now. It took me, my own story is very simple. It took me 7 years to break into banking because we didn't have things like RKY then. And I just jackpot and I thought, okay, I'm a lawyer in Nigeria. There is no way I won't get a solid job here. And the first job I got was terrible. And then they just gave me a broom to start sweeping. I was like, how can I come all the way from Nigeria and then my first job would be a cleaning job? It was unbelievable. It was almost depressing to me. Like, I have all these qualifications and this is the best I can get. So I said, I'm not going to give up. And I started studying. One important thing then was, it is who you meet and the people that mentor you that will determine how you will, the path you take, your trajectory in the UK. So if you go and chill with people that are doing sweeping, you probably be doing sweeping or taxi or care or something like that, which is not bad if that's what you want. But we are giving you an opportunity that, look, over here, we'll train you for these things. And when I was there, I couldn't get these things because we didn't have RKY. Finally, after 7 years, I got into it, and everything. And I found out, this thing is very easy. It's just us identifying the requirements for the onboarding, the remediation, or even if it's transaction monitoring, what are you investigating? What are the people, what are the kind of processes you need to report to the police? How do you identify fraud? How do you identify human trafficking? Those are the sort of things we want you to familiarize yourself with, because already you are coming from Nigeria, UK, everywhere, where we have a lot of corruption. So it's not something that is new to you. You are probably angry from the way some of your politicians are behaving. Do you know how to deal with such situations? So it's very easy. In such situations, we have what we call PEP. What is a PEP? You need to know what a PEP is. And a PEP is not as if it's a bad thing, but we have extra measures when we have a PEP. Now, a PEP is a politically exposed person. And we have the FATF, which is the global organization for financial crime and terrorist financing. And they've said in recommendation 12 what we need to do for PEPs. Very easy. So it's you just reading the manual. So they are just, they have the requirements for PEPs there. And that is recommendation 12. So you just have to implement recommendation 12 in addition to your normal KYC. Your normal KYC is GMLSG part 1. And when we start training with you guys, we are starting from chapter 5. And then along the lines, we'll read the other chapters. Why? Because you guys have the experience already. So you can also apply for managerial positions. I'm sure some of you have maybe 50 years call to buy experience. Some of you have banking experience. Some of you have care experience. And some of you have admin experience. So it's not like you just graduated from uni. No. We have a CV team that will tailor your CV to give you the best opportunities. So that one, we can assure you that when you now start getting calls, we also have a system whereby you join the second phase of the course, which is our Thursday meetings. At the Thursday meetings, it's just your interview prep. People have gone for interviews, like one of our students that has been very successful and very impressive. So they come, we discuss, oh, they are recruiting in this organization. These are the questions they've asked us. Why not join a WhatsApp group that will give you something like Expo? Oh, they are recruiting in Barclays. These are the questions they've asked. And it's not as if we abandon you after the foundation phase, which is the first 5 weeks. No. We are guiding you throughout until you are tired of Lumi and the CEO, until you are tired of RKY. And then we'll give you discounts on other courses. So I don't know how to describe it. This is the only package you find out there. I can assure you about that. So once you join us, I can assure you, we'll give you everything. You can call us 24/7. You know, it's not like, well, we are reasonable anyway. So call us 24/7 to discuss your interview. Call us to discuss what courses you can take. Some of you want to do certifications. I think I've done almost all. Even at this rate now, I'm doing the ACAMS. But I've done the ICA. I've done all sorts and everything. And I can advise you on what certifications to do. I can also advise you on how to apply. Everybody's applying to London. What's happening in London? No, that's not the only place. The competition in London is serious. So you notice that you've been applying before and you've been having issues. Now we are supposed to sort those issues. Apply to other places. Apply to Glasgow. Apply to Wales, Northern Ireland and other places where you have less competition. Go there, do your 6 months. And even when you have the interview, what do you tell them? Oh, you live in London or you live in France and you're applying to Wales. Very far away. No, we have a way to deal with that. You can also tell them, oh, I have a cousin staying on Rutherford Street, which is 5 minutes away from the bank. When they listen to that, then they know you are interested in the job. You are not just applying. This person knows the area. He knows the festivals. He knows this and that. And when you are applying as well, you also need to prepare. What are the salaries you should tell them? How do you explain your own CV and all that? You just need some mentoring, and that's all. It's not difficult. So and then transaction monitoring is not difficult at all. So you need to understand, how do I investigate clients? This is what puts a lot of the banks in trouble, because a lot of their staff don't know how and what they are looking for. What are we looking for? You are looking for anomalies. So we are looking for things that are not normal, which are different. So any discrepancy between your transaction monitoring alert and the KYC information is a red flag. A client says he's a KYC analyst earning 60 or 70,000 a year, and you see 70,000 pounds going to their account every month. What is that for? You need to understand when to report this client to the police, and you need to understand how to report it. So we are going to teach you all that. Suspicious activity reporting. So it's a solid package for you. I don't know how to address this further, so I'll just leave this to the CEO. But you know, once you join us, it's a different game. It's a family. We have a lot of students and all that, and we are pushing ahead. We just want to change the society. It's not just about money. We want to change the society. We want everybody to learn. You will also learn, and you might be able to protect yourself and your family, because you don't know what these Yahoo guys are doing right now. And you, maybe someone can use you as a money mule because you don't know about AML. Somebody is sending 20,000 to you. Oh yeah, help me send it to this person. You don't know what's going on. Okay? We bankers, we in the financial crime world, we are looking at everybody's account and activity. So yeah, it will be a great thing if you guys join us, and we are happy to add you to our family. Thank you.
Thank you so much, our professor and dual solicitor. Yeah, thanks for giving all that. So if you guys can still hear us, comments, solicitor, and I'll be sure you guys can hear are still with us, right? Do we still have your attention? Thank you for sharing your journey. Thank you for sharing everything around, the RKY Careers Bootcamp and their expectations, right? As well as, what the job market is right now. Beautiful. Beautiful. So, yeah. So we get right on. Like I said, right, like we said earlier, the next course starts March 1st. You can pay in installments. You can use Klarna, ClearPay, PayPal, Pay Later, and the likes and the likes. Also, talking about our new products, Apply Body, not so new anymore anyways, where we help people apply to jobs, so this is for those who have busy lives, if you can't find the time, although we always encourage our students to find the time, because guess what, even if you use a service, we all know how expensive using services are here, right? Or paying people to do things for you here. It's always better if you can do things for yourself, right? Because what we always tell our students when they are done is minimum of 20 jobs a day. However, under the Apply Body service, we have a couple of packages. You can book 50 jobs, you can book 100 jobs. That's if you are so extremely busy, I can't find time to apply to jobs for you. Another good thing is that we have the special NHS and civil service package as well that you can explore, right? To get those job applications in. Also, another initiative we have that you can leverage is the affiliate program. So as you are coming on to this bootcamp, don't come alone. You've come in, you've registered, go and sign up on our affiliate program and go and tell 2 or 3 of your other friends and bring them in. If you are able to bring somebody in after you have signed up, if you share your unique code to them, you earn 5% commission on every successful referral, depending on what the price of the class is. So if it's at $5.99, you get 10%. I mean, not 5, it's 10% now. We've improved it. Sarah, if you're here, take notes. It should be 10%. Right. So 10% on every successful referral. Guys, don't sit on this. Our alumni community, especially when you've actually passed through the bootcamp, you see how lovely it is, and you are referring. We get lots of referral. Now we want to just reward you for this referral. So don't come alone. Go to the website URL you're seeing here. Register. Share your links. Just share it. You make a post. Share that link. You go on LinkedIn. Share the link. Talk about your experience with RKY. You were in a session this weekend. I don't know why people are not using LinkedIn. No. This session we are in is enough for you to talk about. You were in a career masterclass this weekend about compliance. This is what is anybody looking to enter compliance? Drop your affiliate link there. You don't know whether somebody will click it and pay. When they pay, you get £50. You get, depending on the amount the cost is. If it's £450, you get £45. If it's £5.99, you get £60 for just posting and sharing your links. Share your link if you have a blog. Share it if you have Instagram. Put it on your bio. Put it on, share your link. And also, in this UK, the trick of making it in this UK is to have extra source of income, yeah? So I hope you guys already understand that. So we also have our founders community for those who also want to leverage business, because guess what, it's not just about career. We can also start our businesses in the UK. For those of us that are struggling to also get sponsorship, set up your business, start monetizing that skill set you have. Those skill set, that business you are running in Nigeria, you can still run it here. You don't even know whether it's going to be the one to break, right, whatever it is you are trying to achieve, which is sponsorship or whatsoever as well. So upcoming events: UK Compliance starts 1st of March. Excel starts 1st of March. PMBA 8th of March. For those that don't know, PMBA is Project Manager and Business Analysis. SMPO, Scrum Master, Product Owner, Product Manager, 8th of March. Digital Marketing, 8th of March. Data Analysis, Business Intelligence, 8th of March. Our Tech Summit, where we talk about all the courses and all of that, and talk about tech in general, 22nd of February. And our Data Insight Day, 2 p.m. today. Right. So at this point, do we have any questions? If you want the recording for this session, follow us on YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, RKY Careers. Also subscribe to the podcast channel, Limitless and Thriving. Subscribe so that you can get this recording and you can get notified when it is ready. Right. So do we have any questions before we call it a day? We already know we still have another session at 2. I look forward to seeing those of you that can also attend that session. If you want to know more about data analysis, you've been hearing me talk about work experience. Come and look at what work experience really look like. Come and look at what it looks like when we give our students work experience. I think some of you have questions about how many years of experience will RKY give us, blah, blah, blah. Come to the Data Insights Day. We also have one for our project managers where they come to talk about their products. We call that one the RKY Product Demo Day. At RKY Careers, we are very transparent with everything. Everything we say we give, we even go extra mile. For instance, all our alumni and students will be having a short masterclass, in some in-demand skills. I won't mention the names here, right? But just be part of RKY Careers. We always have even bonus courses. We had 3 in 2024. I think one every quarter. We have Power BI. All the students got a certification in Power BI. We had UX UI. We had Primavera 6, Oracle Primavera 6, and all that. Right. So I need more information about the data protection and privacy components of the Compliance Bootcamp. So that's a module within the Bootcamp where we talk about GDPR data protection related rules. So I don't know what particular question you like to know about that. Lumi, I don't know if you can answer that if you are still here. How much can those in Nigeria pay for the masterclass? Like if you are in Nigeria, click on the WhatsApp link, and we will tell you what the Nigerian discounted rate is. Lumi?
Yeah.
Someone wants to know about the data protection.
The data protection. Oh, you want an overview? So the data protection is about data privacy, and the course just teaches you the requirements, what you need to do on day one, and what you'll be doing anyway. So we will teach you the regulations of data protection and the process, how to identify challenges, how to run your impact assessments. Also, you will have subject access requests, which you have to understand and respect as well. You also need to have a program on how you're going to deal with your subject access requests. So you have requests like, I want to delete my data, I want to alter my data, I want you to send all the data you have about me. All that didn't used to happen before. So the UK GDPR is a mirror of the EU GDPR while we were part of the bloc anyway. And what it did was to give users better rights so that people will have more control over their privacy. There are 7 fundamental issues that have to be dealt with: transparency, consent, and all those things. Those are those things we'll teach you. And also, you need to be cooperative with the regulator, the ICO. So those are some of the things we'll teach you, and we'll break it down for you guys. And trust me, it's not difficult. We'll also show you where you can get more resources on the ICO website, what to do from day one. Quite interesting. I don't know if I can talk about the sanctions course again. And the sanction course also touches on the sanctions so that you know how to review sanctions, how to identify which laws they are, because it's all about reading it up. So if the sanction says we cannot send petroleum products to Syria and all that, so that's you just need to understand the laws and apply it. Your client wants to do that, that's going to be a violation and all that. If your client has done it, then you need to freeze their assets and send it to OFAC or FSI, whichever regulatory body is in charge. So yeah, sanctions is pretty much easy. It's part of what you check when you are doing KYC and AML. And GDPR covers everything. You need to respect the customer's privacy in whatever you do in the bank. Everything you are doing in the bank, you have to think of GDPR, privacy as a design, privacy as a security. Before you do anything, talk to your GDPR guys so that they know. Like now, you are coming here, we're not asking you about how many children you have, what's your blood type and all that, because we are respecting you guys and we're complying with GDPR. Yeah. So over to you, CEO, if you have more questions.
Thanks for that. Would you also teach us how to apply for multiple jobs in the UK in a day? Or how to apply for multiple jobs a day in the UK? Yes, now. So that's after the boot camp. We just like there's always career support sessions where we guide you on how to apply to the jobs. But at the end of the day, you need to pick up your phone, pick up your laptops, and do the applications or pay exorbitant prices for you to get it done for you. Right. So how do you defend abroad experience if you do put abroad experience is very easy to defend. We even here in the UK, some of us don't even go to physical offices. Right. So it's still the same. You are working remotely. You can be in Nigeria and be working for a UK company. You can be in Nigeria and be working for a US company. You can be anywhere in the world and be working for across continents. You've asked this question a couple of times and I think I've answered it as well. Okay, so can I know more about the work referencing after the boot camp and sponsorship jobs in the field? Right. So during the boot camp, there's always a phase where you have to work on cases, projects, for work experience, right? And this work experience is then put on your CV, right? And then you can reference this when you get a job. So when you, just like Ken said, I think Ken said it, that even before they sent it, we had verified. I mean, before you even knew they had sent it, we had verified because we have a whole team, we have an HR team sitting down and waiting for those references to come. And guess what? They are doing a lot of work because those references are always coming back because our students are getting jobs, in their multiple folds. Right. So should we have access to the LMS to read up? Right. So if you've already enrolled, you should already have access to the LMS, right? If you've already enrolled, you have access to the LMS. You will also be sent links to join groups, that will facilitate the discussions as well. So I don't know if there are I think I've answered all the questions I have here. And I hope Lumi did justice to the data protection one as well. Right. So in the absence of any other question, like we said, we have another session at 2. So I look forward to seeing you all there at 2 o'clock. Thank you all for attending this session. I look forward to seeing you all March 1st at the Compliance Bootcamp and, working with you till we share your success story. Right. So I've enrolled, but I was told I will have access when the bootcamp commences. Right. So if you've enrolled and you did not pay, if you paid with Klarna and ClearPay using the link, it's straight on to the LMS, take you to the LMS. However, if you paid manually, then we need to manually enroll you and send you your login details. Probably that's why. Can I say enroll on the last day of the month? Yes, you can enroll at any point before the start date, but don't bear in mind that this £450 discount is not going to be on the table by then. If you're enrolling for Excel, it's £50, 50k at any point in time you enroll. Right. So do we still have any questions? I think the ClearPay is giving me 4 instead of 112. So for the ClearPay, Klarna and all of that, if you want to confirm what your actual pay is, don't look at the division by 4 that is showing. That one is a fix. It's like a picture. It doesn't update itself. Look at what is on your total. What is on your total? Is it 449? If you have 449 on your total, just go ahead to pay. Don't worry about the divided by 4 amount or divided by 3 amount. That would have 599 divided by 4 because that's the usual price. So I don't know if that answers your question. Okay, Christina, you paid the full £450. So if you did that, if you use Klarna or ClearPay, you would already have access to your dashboard because that's the next thing it will take you to automatically. But if you paid manually, like transferring to our accounts, we need to set you up your login details, and that would only happen on working days when we are back on Monday. So bear with us if you paid, or you can send us a DM on Instagram or send us an email. But like I said, if you send us an email, it's till Monday before we'll be able to attend to it. What's the coupon code? The coupon code is RSVP. So type RSVP when you get to the checkout page, and it will reduce it to 450 for you. By the way, this ends tomorrow 12 p.m. so make sure you don't sit on it. I paid on the 1st of February and I have not gotten any link yet for PMBA. Right, so PMBA starts March 8th. Whereas I don't know what link you're talking about. If you pay through Klarna, like I said, you already have access, so you won't be getting anything until the week of the classes. But if you paid manually, we would send you your login details in due time before the start of the class. Right. So in the absence of any other question, please, for those who don't have login details or have login details issues, send us a mail at bookings@rkycareers.com so we can prioritize it when we resume on Monday. Thank you so much for staying till the end. And thank you, Lumi, for attending the session. I wish you all a great weekend. And right, so is it possible to get sponsorship job after the bootcamp? Because my visa expires soon. Getting visa sponsorship, right, this moment and time that we are right now in 2025 is about being the best for the job in the category of role you want to apply to. So the first step is to position yourself in career paths that have potential for it. If the skills you have, if the skills you have is only maybe customer service and you want to get sponsorship, I would say that, you are just like almost deceiving yourself. But you have compliance skill set, you have data in addition to that, you have project management, and you are positioning yourself. I'm not saying do all the courses, I'm just saying be in the career path that has potential for it and be the best for the job, which is why what we do at RKY Careers is to equip you with everything 360. We don't leave you hanging, because some places you will train, they won't do CV for you. So that means that you will still be racking your brain on how best to do your CV. Some places you will train, they will do CV, they won't help you with interview, or they won't support you with, and another thing, we guide our students on how to position themselves in the right place. NHS kind of jobs, civil service jobs. This week alone, I had about 3 or 4 success stories of HEO. That's the level you start getting sponsored in the civil service, like the higher executive officer also. And those are the kind of roles that we prepare you for. Roles that, we have one of our students who from the compliance, she got principal auditor, band 7 with the NHS, with visa sponsorship, right? So you can't position yourself in career paths that will pay you less than 38,700 and be saying you're looking for sponsorship, right? So how do you secure a slot now? We've dropped several links, right? We've dropped several links in the comments, www.rkycareers.com/courses/pay. If you scroll up, you'll see the links so that you can click on it and go straight. Our admin, please drop the link again so that Anthony can secure his slots now. So like we said, position yourself in career paths that have potential for sponsorship and leverage all the resources. RKY Careers will give you more than enough resources you need to get a very good job, to get visa sponsorship jobs. But it's also up to you, because that's what we always tell people. It's not just about what we are ready to give you. It's about how are you able to take it. We have so many people that were enrolled for boot camps and they won't create time to attend classes. They won't participate on the projects to gain the experience they now need to take to interviews. Those are the things that always make the difference between those that get their success stories immediately and those that get it much later. But the good thing is that regardless of whatever your condition is, we have an LMS where all recordings are. A lot of resources are there as well, previous resources, civil service, immigration, NHS, and all of that you can leverage to position yourself accordingly. So I don't know if that answers your question, Titi. Right. Also, like somebody said, you might also want to consider adding tech skills, core tech skills to your skill sets. Right. And that might also help you stand out. It's about what more can you bring to the table in the market right now. Right. So Mary says, what's the duration for BA? PM and BA is together as 2 in 1, and it's 4 months. 7 weeks of classes, 2 months on projects, 1 week on career support, and then post bootcamp weekly interview prep till you land the job. So I don't know if all of what I've said is clear so far. I hope it is, and I look forward to seeing you all in class. We need to go and prepare for the 1 to 2 o'clock session we have as well. Have a great weekend, guys.